Hello everybody, this is King Atlas at RCI, Reclaimer Industry. I made this video to show you guys how to do an offensive village. So what I did for this village is I built the HQ to 25, barracks to 25, helps with faster recruitment. I put my stables at 15. I don't think there's too much benefit after building it to level 20. It just adds more time and yeah, so I leave it at 15. I put my workshop at 15. I should leave it at 10, but 15 works. Between 10 and 15 works. Academy, I put it at 1. 2s, you can do 2, but 3 is very unnecessary. My symphony automatically has to be at 20 to have an academy. Rally point, statue, both at 1. My market, I leave it at 20 because sometimes in the future I find myself having to trade resources quite a bit, or after I get attacked I have to send resources to my other villages to have the queue at like 40 hours or maybe, you know. My timber camp, I always build my resources, my timber camp, my clay pit, my iron mine. I always build that out to 30. Well, you guys can see the time and the hours and the resources that it takes. My farm has to be at 30. That's how you max out a ville with troops. My warehouse is at 30 because once you put your resources and etc. all the way at the top, you can expect to have come back the next day, and your resources almost be filled. The wall, mandatory 20. It has to be at 20. It has the best defensive options. It helps the village the most. I mean, there's no better way to articulate having a wall, having the highest wall, the strongest wall possible, protects your village the most. So from there, it's only 584 hours, and hours, minutes, and a couple of seconds. It's really not that bad once you get into the swing of it, because once you upgrade your HQ, all of this stuff actually goes down. The time in building this goes down, so you're actually building pretty fast. Okay, so now for the offensive troops. This is the basic build. You can change up the build. You can experiment with the strength of it offensively, but you also have to consider the time. This one takes a total of 6,683 minutes to build. Hours. I'm not sure how the time works on here, but nonetheless, it's a pretty quick build once you get it going. Seconds, minutes, hours. Okay, yeah, seconds, minutes, hours. So I always build AK axis. Have that in your insta queue. That'll be the only thing being building your barracks. So that actually goes pretty fast, 1,000 scouts, 46 hours. That's just 2 days worth. That's just 2 days worth of building. What you could do is you could build 100 LC, then build 10 scouts, 100 LC, 10 scouts. So that way it seems it's going by faster, but I highly suggest that you build the 2,000 LC first. Get that in your queue. Get that going 24 hours. Both of these you want running 24 hours. Your Axis and your LC. That is probably one of the most important things. Now, that's why you upgrade your barracks, and this is for your stable. Now, you don't need any heavy cavalry, you don't need spears, you don't need swords. We don't have mixed villages at this point in the game. Once you're getting around 5k points, you need to exterminate those mixed troops. So you don't ever want to see spears, swords, axes, scouts, LC, HC, Rams, Cats, all of that in the same village. You don't even want to see Palins. You only want to see like one Palin in the village in one of your defensive villages, and that's just to send troops to secure your village. But I'm gonna get back to the point. So what you need here is you need AK axes, you need 1k scouts, and that's just for one village. You can have like 200 scouts. That'll work as well. You need 2k LC. You need 3k Rams. And you need 100 Cats. And that's the basic build for an offensive village. And look at the strength. if you can see it, the strength is 500,090 offensive strength. Now it has nothing, it's not a troop for defending, so its general defense will have nothing, against cavalry. So you need to attack. Now I'm going to show you how this plays out. So now look at this. This is a defensive village. It's pretty much the same build. I would say, yeah, exactly the same build. I build them both the same way. So compared to that, my offensive strength is not as much. It can still do damage, but these troops aren't for attacking, they're for defending. So look at that. So then they have 500,300, 200 general defense. Wow. That's pretty good. But that means one of these nukes, one of these general nukes, could clear that village. So, some things are give and take. So, yeah. So your defensive strength is pretty strong. Then as for how you build them, I do AK spears. Spears are one of the fastest things to rebuild. So this build is pretty much for quick recovery. That's what it is. So you plan on being attacked. So you can rebuild these resources faster and it's cheaper. So I do AK spears, 2K swords, 100 scouts, because when people fake, they tend to send one round, one scout, and you don't want them getting intel on your village and clearing it. And I build 1,500 heavy cavalry. Heavy cavalry tends to take a longer time to build. If you look at it, it's almost both of these times put together to build that. But it's well worth the time to build. And I always put in 100 rounds. Rounds have some defensive properties. And if you use your cat thing in the Palin, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But if you use the cat defensive thing, it has defensive properties. So all you have to do is equip that, So, then this is the total cost. I didn't show you guys the total cost of it on the last one. But for the units, this is how much it costs in total, which isn't pretty bad. For the buildings, in total, that's how much it costs. So, and I mean, you'll be farming, well, you can't really farm on row 61, but you'll be able to, once you max out your timber camp, your clay pit, and your iron mine, you'll be able to do pretty well. Now, in this tribe, we play to a 2-to-1 ratio, which means that 2 defensive villages to every offensive villages. The reason is you guys can expect to be attacked a little more than the average player, considering we're the underdogs. But this works for our benefit. This means that all players will be able to send support, and we can heavily stack villages. Then once they attack us and clear their troops, what we do is we launch back on them and we take their villages. Now, once you have an offensive village, you want to have 2 nobles in it, and then your defense, you want to have 1 noble, because you want to have your LC with your noble attack 2 times. Do you want to have your defensive troops sit on the village? So if someone thinks they can just send 100 LC and take your village, they're wrong and they lose troops. This has been King Atlas. I'll be posting more videos to get more interactive with you guys. Sorry I was so long-winded, but I thank the players who did watch it. Long live the Reclaimer industry.